In Roadkill Ultimate Car Combat miniature game, players play as drivers of one of the 4 factions on the post-apocalyptic world of Helen 4. In the basic box you'll find unpainted miniatures enough to construct 2 Vikings, 2 Spartans, and 2 Centurions, the maneuver template with spray and radius template on it as well, 5 command box, vehicle design sheets, a screen with charts and tables for quick and easy access, road tiles from curves to straights, a sheet with turn sequence and maneuver chart, accessories, and a rulebook. Be the first to complete a scenario objective or blow the hell out of your competition and be the last man standing to win. For this preview, we'll use the Scenario 1 Steelback Scavenger setup and gameplay. Each player will take vehicle design sheet and modify their car with 30 tokens worth of goodies, from tombstones, plows, and extra armor for the body build, an assortment of weapons from grenade launchers, flamethrowers, rockets, and lasers, to driver skills and specific holdouts they might use. We'll get into those later. Eventually, your vehicle design sheet, or VDS as we'll call it from now on, will resemble our pre-made version. Now set up the terrain or road tiles with a divide for the first one and a straight for the second. Place your vehicle spaced enough at the start of the first tile, with 2 to one side and 2 on the other for a 4-player free-for-all game. Each vehicle will start with 3 in the speed container in your command box. The player to first get to 5 VPs wins, or if he's the last man standing. Crossing first from one tile to the next will earn you 1 VP, and destroying turrets that come up will earn you another VP. You're now ready to let the chaos reign. Let me explain the turn sequences. These are broken up into 4 phases, each with their own sub-phases. The first phase, the tactical phase, is where you set your orders and roll for initiative. Here, players will start by placing their dice in the command box. The first box is the speed. Here, usually you can go up or down a gear. This will be how many inches you move. The second box is the maneuver you wish to do for that turn. Depending on what numbered die you place, you will move in that direction, which is denoted on the maneuver chart. The third box is targeting. Here you can choose a target from the other players by placing a die that matches the player's number on his VDS. Or you can choose to not target anyone by placing the die on your own number. Taking this course of action will give you a driving bonus should you try a stunt, recover from a skid or wipe, etc. Lastly, the last box is the holdout compartment. This can be used in certain instances when something happens and you can respond. Once you choose your actions for the round, close the box and say locked in. Once all players are locked in, we roll for initiative. Smaller cars are faster and get +1 to their roll, and other mods might change this as well. The player who rolled highest chooses whether he wants to go first or last. Once chosen, each player followed the initiative they had in descending order. We then move on to the movement phase. The current player opens the first 2 compartments of his command box. Check the maneuver chosen for this turn in the second compartment and move the car using the maneuver chart a number of spaces equal to the speed indicated in the first compartment. Check to see if there's any collisions and resolve those. There's a table for just the type of collisions like T-bone, shunt, grind, or even head-on. Damage is applied according to the type and speed. Once all players finish their movement phase, it's time for carnage. In the aptly named phase, shooting. Here players pop open the third compartment in the command box. Players again shoot in initiative order. You need to have a line of sight to the target you chose in the previous phase. If it is in range in the line of sight of your weapon, some are side, rear, front, or 360-degree weapons, then you can shoot. If it's not in the line of sight, you can do a snapshot to any other target in your weapon's line of sight. Roll first to hit, and then see if it penetrates the armor on the side of which your target is hit. If it penetrates the armor, roll a die for damage and check the table to see what the damage is. Then you put a breach marker on your VDS and allocate damage by marking off squares where you take damage. These affects your performance later on depending on what's been hit, like driver, engine, core, computers, tire, etc. etc. A breached vehicle is easier to destroy should damage penetrate its armor, so do try and keep your car in one piece. And lastly, the last phase is the end phase, where you check your victory conditions, resolve status, and resolve terrain effect. This is just a sneak peek at what Roadkill has to offer, and let me just say that we played this game and it is amazing. It's fun, fast, and pretty intuitive for a miniatures game. There's so much more to it that we can't explain here, but to give you an example, you can mod your car to have smokescreen, targeting systems, or just a big ass front ramming plow if that's what you want. You can do stunts should you choose the 6th side on the die in the maneuver box to make moves like power slides, J-turns, and so forth. Obstacle terrain come up randomly in the first scenario as you roll a die and determine what terrain tile to put. They may come up a clean straight, a curve, or lo and behold, a turret that's got its sight right on you. Other elements include car momentum for dead drivers' cars, to trying to blow them up completely since you don't want to take collision damage. The fluff is great as well, with 4 factions with all different skills. Cutter's Wraith are big on cloaking and suddenly magically appear out of thin air. The Cerulean Guards are like the judges of Omega City, with control of the highway turrets to use to their advantage. The Las Viboras are highly skilled in guerrilla tactics. And finally, the Scions of Man, half machine, half man, all tough sons of bitches. This game is great, chaotic, and it reminds me of the saying, no battle plan ever survives contact with the enemy. And with different scenarios from racing to arena-style Thunderdome carnage, the game has huge replayability. The mayhem is wild, fun, and at times unpredictable. If you love miniatures game and would like one that has a Mad Max feel to it, pledge now.